Hi, I'm Muir with GeorgiaIrishDiscDogs.com. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about distance throwing and everything. I've never been one able to throw very far. I've had a lot of people don't realize I've had a lot of shoulder surgery in the past, and I've got a little bit of artificial stuff in my shoulders. So I had to maximize the most of what I can get out of my throwing to get the 45, 50 yards that's needed in a competition. Maybe I can throw a little farther sometimes, but it's always wind aided. But just on a standard, no windy day, I can throw about 45, 50 yards due to some past medical issues with my shoulder. Now, I did a lot of coaching of baseball, basketball, football. I shot archery and everything, so I studied a lot about kinesiology and read a lot of the books. And kinesiology is a lot about studying the motion and movements of your body and everything, and just working all your energy together to focus on one thing. Like in basketball, you're going to use all your leg muscles and take everything up and let all the energy go out of the tips of your hand to make the longer shots and everything. When you're throwing a football, it's about using your hips and rotation and the motion coming forward and everything, and all your energy coming out of your hand, or the release of the football for the longer distances. And in baseball, which I did most of my coaching over the years, I would use a kinesiology approach with not only pitching, also hitting and everything. So a lot of it is just maximizing every bit of your body to pull all the energy to that release point of that throw with the least amount of movements as possible. You're always going to want to be in balance. You don't want people falling forward, falling backwards. During these motions, a lot of times you want somebody to be able to touch you and stuff, and you don't fall over because you're maintaining that balance and everything. Yeah, you can see different types of throws sometimes. You know, they used to say Ben Hogan had one of the worst golf swings ever in history. But what he did is he did that same bad swing the same exact way every time. It's very hard to duplicate something bad the same exact way every time. So I try to get a lot of concise in everything I do, compact together, and squeeze all the energy out. So on my throws, y'all know how I've worked on the backhands about you take the throw back to here and you come forward like you have water on your fingertips and you're spitting the water out your fingertips. So on the longer throws, you got to really focus on bringing that disc. Some people take a thumb, some people take their fingers and pull it back even farther where they can get more of the whipping action on the longer throws like this. But they're going to crank it back. They're going to be balanced. They're going to come up, and I tell people, just get balanced, get relaxed, pull it back. You're going to crank your hips back. This is going to be part of that energy like a washcloth. You're going to start turning that washcloth, okay? And you're going to start developing and storing energy in your lower legs and upper body. You're going to take it back, and when you throw it, you're going to whip it in that one motion, not this loopy stuff, just a straight line motion, because going up like that can give you a tendency to throw too high, and you want to have that target and find it. So I'll take it back, cranking my hips, and I want to act like I have a stick going out the top of my head, down between my legs, and I'm going to try to maintain that pivot point as much as I can. Even when I take the steps, I'm still trying to keep my motion centered and keeping a center of gravity and everything. So you're taking it back, you're loading it back, that backhand, and then you're taking a small step forward, small step, take the other foot behind it, and at this point you're even cranking your hips even more, that energy, and then you take, and you're here, hands back. I try to pick up the target with my face as soon as I can, and then I come forward. And then I tell people, act like they take their zipper area, their pants, and they want to throw it at the target. And there you go. You're throwing your hips. A lot of your energy is coming up through your upper body, through your hands, through your fingertips. But the rest of the momentum is being thrown through your hips toward the target you're throwing at. So looking at it from the angle coming straight toward you, I'm here, centered up. I take it back, I load it, I'm finding my target. 1 second. I'm loading back here. I'm taking the short step, back, crank, up, energy, throw, and hyzer. Remember, hyzer is the angle of the disc, and a lot of times in your long distance throws, you're going to have hyzer, because it'll correct itself out there later on in the field with the momentum, because you're throwing so much gravity. So Once again, it's a step, 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 crank, throw, like that. So you want to maintain balance the whole time cranking. So, from this angle, from behind, you're this way, step, forward, crank, crank. Hyzer. Okay? Notice I'm coming straight angle across. Same from behind. Back here, I'm loading up energy in my body. Take a short step, 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 throw. This one. If you watch any of the baseball swings and everything, you might see a baseball player take his bat up here. You might see him take his bat up here, back here, or here. But once they've loaded, the baseball player's loaded up their hips, that bat's always going to come back into that slot again. Like I'm talking about in Frisbee, you got to have that slot you throw in. They'll bring that back to the slot, and then that gravity goes forward. Same thing. Same thing. They're throwing all that energy out there back toward the pitcher with their hands and everything. So, from behind, I'll show y'all a couple throws. I'm going to be going down the field. Remember, I can't throw far. So I'm here, back, back, step, throw. And there really wasn't much. I was even a soft throw, and it still went, I went close 55 yards, 57 yards. So a lot of times in your farther throws also, if you're right-handed, you're going to have the little angle to go that way just a little bit. So I'm relaxed. Step, forward, find my target. And just throwing down the field. Using the field as a reference point. So I'm going to try to torque it a little bit more. 1, 2, 3. A little over 60 yards. Same thing. I would like my follow through to be a little bit better. Also, I'm throwing competition standard disc by Hyperflight. And I got Irish here watching me, of course, as always. She's my little baby girl. But here we go, another one. Another one. Here we go. We're here. Step, step, step. Throw. See where my hand went? And that can be learned. My hand went right to where I threw it. I always tell people, you throw the disc where your hand goes, so that really wasn't the best of throws. I'm going to let one, I'm going to have right here, I'm going to have them stand and film back at me. Let it see it come toward you. Okay, so I'm here. I'm loaded. Step, step, step. Hand swinging out a little bit too much, but when you're throwing it, you want to try to keep as much forward as you can. When I throw my 45-yard throws, which I'm talking about the mini distance and everything, I'm just standing there. I don't even take the steps. I grip, and I just throw, throw, throw. But there's your steps, distance. Throw, torque the hip. Torque the hip, work on your angles, your release points and everything. But try to keep as much of your balance and think during that whole time. I'm here, 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 here. There's not a single time I'm not balanced where you can push me over, because I'm balanced here, and if I was to reverse it, I'm balanced here, I'm balanced here. Gravity. You don't want to be all flinging all over the place like this and not have balance. You're kind of just throwing on luck, hoping that it's going to go straight. But that's what works for me. There's many other different ways to teach distance, and I'm not a far thrower. I'm just showing you what works for me. I'm Mark Muir with GeorgiaIrishDiscDogs.com. Thank you.